Broadcasting around the Beltway and beyond, it's Tommy and Kelly made in DC on the Real Fun DC channel and on demand anytime, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Well, good morning. It is Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. I'm Tommy McFly.
And I'm Kelly Collis, and I'm warning you right now. If you've gone on social media already, you know that it's National Drink Wine Day. It's an excuse for people to post up on their social media feeds of them drinking wine on a Tuesday. So
as if you needed an excuse, Kelly Collis.
So there you go. Before we get into our headlines happening in DC and all around the country.
Also, the DC restaurant that's offering up cryptocurrency for new employees, among other incentives as they're trying to close the workforce gap. We'll get into that. And we'll talk to the owner who's going to bring this new option to the city.
And there are two mamas over the weekend that did something incredible with their children. And I just love these two stories. One has to do with Pink, Tommy, I know your favorite.
Love her.
And a former Olympic gymnast. And don't worry, I know it was a beautiful weekend. There is one company here in DC that's making sure you don't have FOMO this summer.
That's really important. I think that's really something that we should all be striving for. If you are a company, to reduce the level of FOMO that happens within your employee ranks. Way to go, that company. We'll dive into that in just a little bit. Now, of course, we know that today is the 1-year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd, and we're keeping that in our minds today as well. Looking back over the last year, I know that I have personally found myself being more aware, being kinder and reflective, and thinking back on the mistakes that I've made. And it's been truly remarkable to see, small things in neighborhoods like murals going up around DC, to Black Lives Matter Plaza, to big changes that are happening all across the country. It's been remarkable to think about what's gone on in a year, but also the important work that still is ahead and still needs to be done.
For sure. I know in our household with the kids, some of the dialogues have been challenging and interesting and dynamic, and it is a learning process for everyone in our house. And it's been really great to have teenagers to be sort of at the forefront that are making some of the changes and being very vocal. And, the good news is today, 30 states around the country have implemented some sort of police reform. There's still a long way to go, which is why George Floyd's family is here in DC. They're going to meet with Biden today. That includes George Floyd's little 7-year-old daughter, to really push for federal police reform.
Absolutely. Kelly, I think that's the first time, too, you've said it's great to have teenagers.
Yeah.
You've had them. You've had teenagers for several years now. And I think this might be the first time you've said it's good to have teenagers. So, wow.
They
we
bring,
just had a moment, I think.
They bring a unique perspective. So yes. Don't let me say that again, though.
I will keep a monitor on that for you. Don't worry. I want to talk about this Politico article you found about them trying to alleviate FOMO among their ranks.
Literally, it says it in a memo. So Politico, of course, the media company is based right outside of the DC area, sent out a memo to their employees, letting them know what to expect about back to work and what it's going to look like. We're not going to get into all the nuts and bolts, but they literally did say, we don't want you to have FOMO this summer. So we're not going to do our hybrid back into the office until after Labor Day. We want our employees to enjoy their summer, figure out ways to work remotely, enjoy time with family. But they did use the word FOMO. And I can kind of appreciate that, because they're like a legit media company that does some, pretty serious reporting.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because like Politico has, among like the DC media set, Politico has that reputation of being kind of like a grind, right? Like being really tough on their employees and expecting high standards of work and everything. So for them to be like, have funsies this summer, like that's kind of, that's it. Woo! Hit the wrong button. That's kind of an interesting push for them. You would think they'd be the last ones you would think that they would be like, have fun, willy-nilly, go get them.
Well, it's for sure going to be interesting to see how employees are responding to this. But I think it's important, though. A lot of people are enjoying their summer. I will tell you that I was in Rehoboth last weekend, and I know the weather here in DC and in Rehoboth was gorgeous. It was summer-like weather, right? 85 degrees and sunny and all the things.
It felt like the first weekend of summer vacation. It was amazing.
Totally. And Rehoboth was legit bonkers. I mean, I've never seen like before Memorial Day weekend. It was just body to body, restaurants packed, people enjoying the boardwalk. But also, this is my little PSA. I think some of us have forgotten how to behave in public.
Absolutely. 100%. Yes, 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 yes.
Yesterday I was I left yesterday morning and I went did a little shopping, and the sales clerk, her dad is an EMS for Rehoboth, and she said that her father said it was the most busiest weekend as far as calls that they've had in 5 years.
Wow.
Now, this is May. Kids are still, the college
True.
students haven't even come down there. Like, I mean, it was just insane. And I just think that, people, watch your children,
Mhm.
monitor your day drinking, don't drink and drive, still be kind, and all the things that we learned over this past year. I know it's been a long, hard, 18 months,
Yep.
but geez. So I can only imagine in little small Rehoboth and Delaware what the rest of the world is going through.
I think we're running into a little bit of like Memorial Day week this week. I think a lot of folks probably, if they could, or, it's all Politico's fault. Everyone's working remote. So maybe it was all Politico staff in Rehoboth causing all the trouble, being all down there. They were like, you know what? Biden's going to be in Delaware. I just know it. Let me hang out there and stake out. And then when he didn't show up, they were like, all right, well, let's go to the bars.
I will tell you though, the shops in Rehoboth are sort of monetizing over the Biden thing. There's lots of the summer White House T-shirts and like Biden chilling with Biden in Rehoboth T-shirts, and so they are capitalizing on that he does have a summer home in Rehoboth.
Look at that, stimulating the economy. There we go.
That's certainly one way to do it.
I will tell you though, Kelly, anecdotally, of all the gays I talked to this weekend, they're coming to Rehoboth for Memorial Day. So I just get ready.
Well, you know what? It's a party. So all are welcome. And you know what? That's the most amazing thing about Rehoboth is there's families, there's gays, there's lesbians, there's fishermen, there's, the bougie people with their big houses. There are Blacks and Hispanics. And we all, in this very small town, we all sort of have our little ecosystem of, enjoying the beach.
You just sounded like Stefan from SNL. Rehoboth has everything.
It does.
Fishermen, gays, Biden T-shirts, Grotto Pizza, which started in Pennsylvania. All of the things that Rehoboth is known for.
Yes. It will be okay. I will look out for all your gay friends there, Tommy.
Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it.
But people behave.
Yes, behave. Mind your P's and Q's. I think it's also like with driving. So I live in downtown. I've been, had my car, haven't driven as much, but I've been walking all around. I was in the car yesterday with the rain. People were wandering around like cicadas that just came out of the ground. Like, my goodness, the drivers, like people, you have a license. You've trained for this. And if you haven't driven in the last year and a half, maybe not Connecticut Avenue, maybe start in a parking lot and try that just to signals, mirrors, make sure you just remember how it all works. And then you can get back to the roads. You can graduate back to the roads once you've behaved yourself. My goodness.
Yeah. And there's also someone yelled at me saying like, get off my phone. And I was like, I'm not even on my phone. Maybe you have the wrong person. I'm like, but why are you so angry?
Mind your own business, people. I was in the lane to turn, and somebody drove up like the parking spots at like lane and tried to turn. And I was like, you are in a parking spot. That is where you park. You don't turn from a parking spot. You park in a parking spot. You monster. Yeah. Have a great morning.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think we're all experiencing a little bit of that, no matter where you live, as people are we are like cicadas actually, because like we're coming out of our homes. A lot of us haven't been out in a very long time.
And everyone just wants to sing and mate.
A lot of that happening.
Speaking of singing and mating cicadas, I want to bounce ahead because there is a cicada rap that has come out that Fairfax County has put this out, and they have a whole thing going. There's a music video. There are lyric videos, and you can check this out. I want to just play a little bit for you, and then we'll talk about where it all came from.
Ground is riddled with half-inch tunnels up in your COVID bubble. The same with trillions of my friends and cuddle. In some places we'll number hundreds of thousands per acre, 100 decibels. Drumming.
That would be MC Bugsy, aka Adam Lima. He's a trained etymologist for his day job with Fairfax County Health and Disease Carrying Insects Program. And by night, he's a rapper. So there you go.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we'll drop the link to it in the show notes if you want to check it out, because my goodness, it's creative and they pack it. It's like Hamilton level information into a song.
That's good. I wonder if he was inspired by doing it once the cicadas came up, or is this something he's been working on for the last 17 years? Like,
I don't know. The clip that I pulled though, he specifically referenced his COVID bubble, so I feel like he's keeping it with the times, keeping it very 2021. I appreciate that about him.
That's true. I am getting used to the sort of the gentle hum of the cicadas. It sounds like so summery. It's like I wanted to put it on my noise machine. Like it's really, really nice.
Yeah, we don't have any cicadas in Mount Vernon Triangle because there's no ground that was there 17 years ago is there now. So like the whole neighborhood, not a cicada to be seen or heard. But I was at some friends' houses in Arlington over the weekend, and yeah, you can hear that cicada buzz.
It's so nice. I love it.
I dig it. And then in Fairfax City too, they've got their restaurant week going on, so you could have dinner outside and you can enjoy the little cicada hum as you were. That was my cicada sighting. I was at Ald Shabin in Fairfax City, and I heard the cicadas, and I saw one. I got a little video of it, so I was able to post it on the internet in case no one else thought to post cicadas on the internet.
It's just the thing you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Virginia, we covered over the etymologist. Not sure what the word is there for him. The bug guy, our bug guy with the song, the etymologist. And now on to the mamas. Kelly, I was truthfully trying to give you a little behind the scenes. I was trying to transition over to your mama topic because I know that I jumped ahead of you with the cicada topic. So that's where we are. Even though we practiced this before we started the show today, I just want to point out that normally I just kind of bumble around like a cicada, and poor Kelly has to just try to figure out where it's going. So,
it's all good. All right. Well, I saw these two stories that would be interest no matter what. But then when you realize the feat and the tasks that they do is truly incredible. So I will start with Pink. She was got a huge award and for her work at the BBMAs, which is like the British version of the Grammys, if you will. And so she's doing her thing, doing some songs, and then she does what she's known for in a lot of ways, which is performing upside down and singing. Now, this woman is 41 years old. The thing that's also impressive is that her 9-year-old daughter does it with her.
I love it.
Willow is there. They're performing their song. It's such a cute mother-daughter moment. Look at them swinging from the air, singing, and she's just like such a proud little mama on her face. I mean, it was just everything. Look, they're synchronized. It was just incredible.
Cool. And the smile on Willow's face, like she's just beaming. They're both just so happy. What a great mother-daughter moment.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome to see that. And then happening, so that was Sunday.
I think you and your daughter, Casey, have your Halloween costume all set.
Oh, yeah. Like my 15-year-old daughter wants to be matching with her mother. No, that's not happening.
Go to Ace Hardware and see if you can get some hammocks and try to recreate that under your deck.
No. I can't barely post photos of her on social media. So no, that is not going to happen.
What if I get her an Amazon gift card?
The thing about her, you can't buy her. The boy you can buy.
I've known that for a long time. I respect it, but it makes negotiating with your daughter extra difficult.
For sure. But then I heard about this other mother who is a former Olympian. I did not know who she was. I just did a little bit of research on her. Her name is Chelsea Memel, and she won a silver medalist for gymnastics in 2008. She has been out of it for the last 9 years. She's got 2 children. And yesterday she performed, or she did. Is that the right word? Pink performs, a gymnast
competes.
There we go. And
wow, to the rafters and back.
Wow, she did great.
She did amazing, and the commentators go on to say that she started getting back into shape after she had her 2 children.
The commentators, I want to just flag for you because It's so cringeworthy because obviously there has been a lot of issues with U.S. gymnastics, with coaches who did very bad things and are in in a lot of hot water and a lot of things going on. So they cut to her like getting a kiss from the coach, and then the commentator was like, "Abada, abada, abada."
Yeah, it's okay. Her coach, he can kiss her. That's her dad.
What?
So impressive. This whole comeback started out to get in shape after having children.
Yeah. So it's incredible. I mean, what a inspiring story. She's not going to the Olympics. She's not going to qualify for the Olympics, but she is competing. And she's also like flipping through the air after having 2 kids. And I will tell you, her kids are young. Like she's got young kids. My mamas that have birthed children know that it takes a while to get everything back into shape. It's not an immediate thing. So well done.
What do you mean?
Yeah. I don't have to explain it to you, Tommy.
That's very true.
So that's just awesome. I wanted to share those 2 mom stories.
Really cool. And like, what a way, like what a way for her to like get back into the swing of things in her, in her own life. And she's like, I'm just going to do some Olympic training to get there.
No big deal.
And that's what she did. She made it happen. I love that. So she's not going to go to the Olympics, but she's
not at the competing level, but she already has her silver medal. I mean, in 2008, that's incredible.
Right. That was a long time. It was
yes,
13 years ago.
Yeah.
12 years, 13 years ago.
13 years.
Mm-hmm. Man, we're getting so close to the Olympics too. Like it was one of those things like, oh, it was going to happen. And then it didn't happen. And with all the stuff from last year. And then now like, it's like exciting. Like, it's coming. It's coming on July 23rd.
Yeah. We're going to start hearing all those great stories about, especially over this past year of these athletes getting ready to do the most incredible athletic event.
And Simone Biles, my goodness.
She makes it look so easy though.
Yeah, she totally.
She's like, what? Like, here, hold my beer. I'm going to go do a couple flips.
And talk about, right? Like, she's obviously trained countless hours and put her whole life into this like moment, but to see her perform and to see all these athletes perform, like, it's just so wild to see it in the moment. You're like, they're amazing.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And like, we'll see Katie Ledecky again this year, and it's just going to be awesome.
Can't wait.
Awesome. Love to see it. We've talked a little bit about restaurants and other businesses trying to get people to come back to work and to be part of their staff, especially in the hospitality industry. There's a real problem right now of getting people to meet up with the demand of all the restaurants being reopened. They've been closed. A lot of people left the industry. Other folks are like nervous to come back. There's just a lot of things going on. So restaurants have gotten creative. I saw a sign on the internet. I'm not sure if it's true or not because, the internet can sometimes lie, where McDonald's in some locations has a sign in the window being like, if you come and work for us for 6 months, we'll buy you an iPhone.
That will do it for some people.
Yeah, right. And other incentives. And so Cuba Libre in downtown DC is offering cryptocurrency, language lessons, among other things. And we caught up with the CEO about how this all came together. Many restaurants all around DC. Many restaurants all around DC and the country are trying to attract workers, which is such an interesting thing as we emerge through the pandemic to the whatever happens next. Barry Gutin is the CEO of Cuba Libre. You're joining us from Philadelphia. You've got Cuba Libre in downtown DC, right on 9th Street. By the way, love the marshmallow fire pits. Nice touch throughout the winter. And now you're rolling out some really interesting, I guess, incentives to get people to come work for you. Why is this having to happen?
Well, during the pandemic, all the restaurants shut down at one point, and we've all been operating under strict restrictions and lower occupancy. So we've had fewer employees. So those employees, many of them have left the industry. They might be working for Uber driving. They might be working in an Amazon warehouse. And others are at home with kids that are not in school, or they may be afraid of the virus, or they may just be enjoying the enhanced unemployment benefits. And we need to find ways to get them back into the workforce if they're out, or back into the restaurants if they're elsewhere.
And I'm hearing from a lot of restaurants, like as DC is opening up to 100% capacity, but a lot of the restaurants are saying, that's great, but we can't open up to 100% capacity because we don't have the help.
That's precisely where we're at. And it's come upon us so quickly. And at the same time as the weather is warming up, which makes our outdoor seating much more viable and interesting and fun. So those campfire cabins that we built and the sidewalk tables, they're going to be full. We have the entire restaurant that we can fill. We can put a lot of people in our restaurant. It's a pretty big restaurant, but we don't have as many employees as we need. So we're reaching out to the community and enhancing our competitiveness, making sure that we're paying at the highest rates. But we're doing more than just giving bonuses and referral bonuses and increasing our wages. We're trying to find ways not only to make the jobs better, but to make our employees' lives better. So we're adding in personal finance courses so people can manage their money. We're offering those bonuses to get people's attention. We're offering them in cryptocurrency. But that means people have to understand what that is and what to do with that and how to add to it, perhaps to increase their savings to buy a car or buy a house or retire someday. And we want them to understand how to manage their personal finances. We're also inherently a bilingual restaurant. We serve Hispanic food, and many of our employees speak Spanish. Some of them speak only Spanish. Some of them only speak Haitian Creole. We want those people to have opportunity to advance. We want to unlock that potential in them. So we're offering English as a second language courses for those people, and so that they can communicate better with the rest of the staff and succeed. But we're also offering Spanish as a second language courses because some of our employees don't speak Spanish, and we want the team to be able to communicate well.
And you're doing it at the community college level. It seems like you're throwing like everything in the kitchen sink into this. I'm interested in how you decided on the different incentives, right? Was there like a meeting that you're like, I know we'll do cryptocurrency and then we'll do referral bonuses? Like, how did this come about? Because it seems like you're not just saying, hey, we'll give you money. You've really thought through this whole plan of all these benefits.
Precisely. It was a meeting. We were saying, how can we make our jobs more compelling? How can we make them more competitive? How can we improve the lives of our employees? Because we don't just want to get them to take a job. We want them to stay with us. And in our company, our most successful people have come from hourly employees. Our general managers come from hourly positions. Our executive chefs mostly come from hourly positions. We have an executive chef in Philadelphia who started as the cleaner of our restaurant 20 years ago. We have a general manager, a woman in Atlantic City, who started as a hostess. And those stories go on and on. So a lot of people come to us for a job and end up with a career. And we want to foster that.
We love that's what you're doing. And Tommy and I have been trying to support restaurants and get the message out of all the creative ways restaurateurs are getting people into their restaurants, keeping their employees happy and safe and fed and all the things. So we appreciate what you do. And that's why we wanted to talk to you today.
Thank you. And another success story is our general manager in Washington, D.C., who started as a server in Atlantic City.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very good. Is the CEO of Cuba Libre and Rum Bar. Thank you for joining us. And thanks for all you do for the DC community on 9th Street.
Thank you both. We really appreciate it and really happy to be reopening fully soon.
From our chat with Barry Gutin, the CEO of Cuba Libre. Thanks for joining us this morning. And if you want to catch any of our past shows, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to just listen to this all day long. You can get the Tommy and Kelly Show anywhere you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, etc. Or grab the Real Fun DC app to discover our other awesome shows like Yes Another Podcast, Industry Night with Nikki Nellis, and Neeks at Night. Kelly, I got you on mute. I'm sorry.
That's all. I said, see you next time.
Oh, see you next time.